Hey guys, this is Laura, and I help people to step into the highest version of themselves. And with that being said, let's get down to today's topic, which is the courage to be disliked. I use that as a title, but that is actually a book. And this has to do with going through our spiritual path and noticing that people are starting to fall away from us. Our family, friends don't agree with what we're doing, and how to resolve it within. Now, a little bit about me as I go through the spiritual development, which has been happening since I had my son in my mid to late 20s, but I was always very sensitive empath. I was picking up on people's feelings. I did see some spirit activity here and there, but not until after I had him, where the door opened and I was seeing the good, the bad, and ugly on a daily basis. Okay. But as I get more developed, I get more centered in my spiritual gifts, who I am as a person. I start to see more people fall away from me. Sometimes example would be coworkers, friends, and family. The most devastating, I would say, is family members. I currently have 4+ family members not talking to me right now, upset with me for one reason or another, or some type of misunderstanding, which they do not care to clear up or resolve. Me being a people pleaser empath in the past, I would always try to work it out, fix or solve the problem. I would always try to smooth it out, because being an empath, when people are upset, you feel that, and you want to make, when people are better and happy, it makes you happy and better, which could lead to trouble, because you can end up agreeing with stuff you don't really like inside, making yourself smaller for other people, or, really trying to fix or heal stuff for someone. But what I realized is the more that I would do that for people, it would only resolve something temporarily. And then the problem would come back, or it would be worse, or I can never keep the person satisfied. And whether there's energy of jealousy, envy, or, whatever the case may be, they have problems within themselves they don't want to face. It would just lead to another problem, another thing that I would have to give up my authenticity to have space around these people. Okay. I always felt like if I healed something with them, I noticed a pattern that next time the issue would come back and it wasn't dealt with, which sometimes it was the other person had insecurity issues. They had to work through are certain beliefs. They didn't want to do the work themselves. Sometimes with other people, it was the need to always be right. For whatever reason, I always attracted narcissists and the people that always felt like they were right no matter what and couldn't see other viewpoints. And they weren't open to it. And that often led to people disappearing from my life, family members, what have you, for months up to years. Either way, it was upsetting. In the case of family, sometimes it was a misguided family dynamic or pattern that was set up that I saw a lot. Sometimes I was able to navigate and bypass when people would get in an argument around me and they'd stop talking for years. And I was able to be neutral, but now I'm caught up in this stuff myself, not wanting to be. I tried to manage and stay out of the way. And for some reason or another, I was always pulled in to a degree. Well, what happens when no matter what you do, they won't listen, disappear, or not open to hearing other sides of an argument or a misunderstanding? All you can do is allow them to step away while you work on whatever issue comes up for you within regards to the situation or disagreement. You can connect with counselors. I always would connect with my spirit team, Yeshua, my angels guides, and I would embrace physical and spiritual resources, tips, and tricks to help me to navigate me having to be okay that people don't like me and things of that nature. Also, being on social media, it prepares you for that. There's always going to be somebody that doesn't agree with you or what you're doing. So it kind of prepares you for if this stuff starts to happen with family or friends in your life. Basically, you would need to work through on your end, letting go of the anger and resentment on your side. You can cut energetic cords and ties to the situation. So I would often say, I ask my angels and guides to bless the situation and cut the cords and ties that no longer serve me with this person, family member, things of that nature. And sometimes if you think about them throughout the day, you just started getting an intuitive hit like, oh my gosh, I'm thinking about them. I don't know why. It may be because they're thinking about you. But when you are like, I ask Archangel Michael, my guardian angels, to please release the toxic cords and ties keeping us together. Sometimes you may notice they could call you, or all of a sudden they're on your radar again because you did that. But what they're suggesting, the angels and guides are saying, focus on you, take care of you. You can't control what others may do. You can pray for them. You could send positive energy to the situation. But in the end, it helps you to have healing on your end. So this could be while you're having a divine healing, other people are still struggling. They're still caught up in the situation or self-righteous behavior in a ball of negative energy, all the while you're healing, forgiving, and living your best life. That's the best you can do in those situations. And that's exactly where you want to be. You can also ask your angels and guides to heal the karma energy between you and that person through all lifetimes and all directions of time. Okay. Now, the source of all life, you can call it to help you to navigate where you need to be in the moment and get your attention off of those people. As a spiritual person, we don't want to be in arguments or disagreements with people, but sometimes it's inevitable. We can't help when that happens and things just don't get resolved. Sometimes after you go through this healing process, this is what I've noticed as well. This is sometimes with love, when you've had like a weird situation, toxic situation, you're trying to get away from it. Your feelings, sometimes people can be obsessed in relationships. You can notice when you start focusing on yourself, you cut the ties, you let go, you start living. They may want reconciliation. They may want something more from you, but you have to decide and allow your intuition to come in and think about, is this for my greatest good or is this another lesson? So that's what you would need to work through in regards to if the situation and person come back. Now with that, let's do a prayer activation to kind of seal this situation. Okay. Now I'm going to start with something that I saw from a creator called David. So you can close your eyes, focus in on your body, notice how your body's reacting and feeling right now. You can put your hand on your heart, close your eyes, or do this with your hands. That's often soothing to people. I am protected by divine concealment. I am hidden from what no longer serves me. I am revealed only to what is meant for my light. Okay. That's from David. Now we're just going to focus on bringing in the guardian angels, our masters and teachers, and they're placing us in a protective shield of light. We're asking them to release the cords and ties to the people that bind us, healing the karma and energy between us. And if there is a resolution, we ask that our angels talk to theirs, and within the next 10 days, we receive some type of notification or verification that healing is in the works. I let go of what no longer serves me and I embrace where I'm meant to be in the present moment. And with that, guys, I say amen. And there's actually an angel named Amen that can carry the prayer up. Feel free to work with amen as much as possible. And until next time, take care of yourselves.